Let me start the recording. Perfect. Yeah, so cheers everyone. That's a nice morning gap up so far. So we'll try the best we can to form a good game plan and to play it well. So let's look at the market first. And again, we're getting in that phase where we have confirmation. Price is still making higher highs and higher lows, with QQQE making a new all-time high yesterday. So we're building those higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher highs, and another higher high with a new all-time high. So price wise, this is looking very good still. And yeah, just nothing to overthink when that happens. Same thing for the Barretts. So we do have the McClellan nicely trending above now the uprising 10-day moving average. McClellan oscillators is showing a bit of downtrend in the last 2 days, but to be honest, again, don't overthink it unless we break down and start to hook back down. Barrett is still expanding, and we don't have any overbought signals yet. So despite the market being very good, we're having good moves. The crazy part is we're not even very short-term overbought. So there's two scenarios, right? So either that's negative divergence, that the market is pushing higher without much participation. So it's still a stock picking market, don't get me wrong. There's not a lot of stuff moving. Advance, so you have the advance and declines still showing pretty low participation overall, but in the liquid leaders, the stuff that we trade, we do have very good moves. Everything is acting constructive. So yeah, the two scenarios, so either that it's a negative divergence and the market is getting thinner and thinner and thinner, and eventually that will be some type of warning signal when the market pulls back. Or the second scenario, which is the optimistic way to see it, is the market is just warming up and we're in the leading stuff that is moving before the broader market. And when the broader market catches up, then we'll get that nice momentum coming in and we'll see some breadth extensions in the overbought area. So that's the scenario that I'm playing, because you know me now, I'm a forever optimistic. But always keep in mind that the other scenario is possible. Yeah, Pudel is saying this market can rip brutally if it keeps going. Yeah, it certainly can. And the inverse is true as well. We can get some type of news and the market just falls apart. That's the game of trading, and that's why you need to keep that optimistic mind, because otherwise you won't have the mindset and the conviction to hold to your positions unless you trust that trend, unless you trust that market cycle and the stocks that your position in, then you won't have the confidence to hold. You will try to always find the slightest reasons to sell, to exit a winning trade, etc., etc. But if we start to see red flags, then you have to quickly switch your mind, and that's not easy. And you will get there with experience to have that super optimistic commitment, but at the same time knowing exactly what you don't want to see to flip defensive. That's the art of trading. All right, so let's review quickly the internals. So yeah, credit spreads looking very good. We have once again that declining daily structure rejection. And we have that potential kind of bear flag breakdown here. So good looking credit spreads. We have the VIX looking good as well with that lower high, that rejection of that recent structure. So very good to see that rejection and that now downside reversal. If we confirm that today, that would be another great positive for the VIX. And Bitcoin just keeps going. Looking at this on the weekly, that's the setup that we've been discussing for a few days and even weeks. So yeah, if you're not in, I wouldn't chase here. We're quite extended from the 21 EMA. But I think that the first pullback, so we now have that 21 DMA, that daily structure reclaim, and now I'm waiting for that retest and at least pull back to engage in Bitcoin. QQQE we covered, and that's the same picture for the weighted indices. So Nasdaq, we have that downtrend line wedge breakout and new all-time high above the recent swing high. So don't overthink it, guys. We have a nice uptrend. We have a nice multi-month base breakout with a solid long-term flush. That trend might just be starting. We have a base on base setup as well, and we're out of that second base, just getting started. So don't lock yourself into a narrative of the market is extended, the market is overpriced. Just follow price and to an extent a second degree breath as well. All right, so yeah, we're getting that gap up today, and that's usually what happens when you get that setup and on the right side momentum starts to pick up. And we discussed that a bit in the pit this morning, but usually and not usually, but what I was doing before is waiting for confirmation, more confirmation, as the market was making that breakout to new all-time high. But by this time, if you don't have good exposure, then you're there having to chase those gap ups, and on those gap ups, there's a lot of volatility, there's a lot of chop, and it's really easy to get chopped up in those kind of gaps and this kind of action when the momentum in the market really kicks in. So that's why in the many recent past market cycles, you see me opening exposure in advance. So within that pullback, within when the market is not giving that confirmation yet, but giving us this anticipation setup with that oversold bread being made, with the McClellan summation just starting to flatten out and trying to hook up. That's the way that I like to position. And now when momentum kicks in, like right now, I'm there trying to trim into strength, reduce my exposure for when the market finally pushes higher and gets extended and overbought. Then I have reduced exposure, reduce my risk, and when the pullback kicks in, then I don't see it as being threatened by it, not threatened by it, but instead seeing this as an opportunity and looking closely at liquid leaders. If they shake out, if they get those stress tests into rising structures, then I'm there to increase back my exposure, take back some risk, in those leaders, while everyone, not everyone, but newer trader trying to manage their risk, closing position into weakness. The goal is to go there and buy those shares on those shakeouts. All right, so let's review the portfolio. So AMD, congrats to all the traders in the community that were patient on this one. I know it was not an easy one to hold, especially as we never really reclaimed the 21 DMA structure, but we were tightening up on the right side. We never made a lower low. We were getting very, very tight. We were building that VCP shape, and when we resume that setup, usually we get a nice push, and that's what we have right now this morning with a nice gap up, more than 3% above that low cheat range, and basically locking people that were not patient enough to stay with that larger setup, not patient enough, or waiting for more confirmation. That's how stocks move nowadays. So likely getting my 5-hour target hit this morning at the open, so that will be a new runner. Tesla just keeps going. Again, I have my 5-hour target around 500-ish, so still have room to go. I'm looking for that two-leg move, so around 520-ish. Once again, that could be an interesting area to take your profits if you don't use those 5-hour targets like me. Vertiv, still some place for my 5-hour target. Nice move out of that base yesterday. We're getting a bit daily extended, so look for maybe some contraction on the right side, maybe a retest of that base area. That wouldn't be bad, but if the market just keep ripping, this thing can go. Look at the weekly setup. That's what I'm playing since the start. We have that multi-mountain year cup and handle breakouts, so that thing might just get started. That's a position that I will look to trade around my core. So yeah, I don't care to take my 5-hour target because on the daily will get extended, but I will look to trade around that name because I have a higher conviction. Robinhood, nothing wrong here. I think it might need time to digest, to build the right side, but yeah, we can continue. But the normal scenario, and that wouldn't be bad, would be to build on the right side, just digest the move we had before going higher. ANET, nice gap up, still some room to my 5-hour target as well. Palantir getting out of that multi-week cup and handle, so looking good, making a new high. We're still below that August high, but we have that handle breakout. Uber might be on the chopping block for me today. I will see at the end of the day, but yeah, I'm being more than patient with this name. I like that area right here, but yesterday not being able to go with the market was kind of an expectation breaker for me. So now that the market is gapping up, now the market is showing momentum coming in. Sorry. If we can go from here and we start to break those higher low structure, then I will be out, and either waiting for fresh setups, or we'll go for a name in the focus list to replace that exposure. Oklo, that was kind of the really the name that I wanted to add, and I kind of missed my opportunity yesterday. I thought it could shake out below that low, but there was a news, and it came back up close strong. So there's still that daily reversal in play, but we're getting a bit extended on the daily from the 21 EMA. So not gonna chase, but if we have weakness and we retest that range low, then I will look to add. That's probably my biggest focus to add to something. Nvidia, big weekly breakout, so another base on base, or the first weekly base pullback after that multi-month base breakout. So good looking chart. Might just get started once again with that breakout. So all those names in my runners categories are now traded off the weekly. So now trading the weekly structure. Same thing for TEM. So nice momentum yesterday with near a 10% move. Now it's fully de-risked on my runners, and I'm trading this thing off the weekly. Same thing for Micron. Nice move yesterday. We have a big breakout. I don't have a lot of size anymore, but yeah, just being patient with my runner. Snow setting up very well. We had another daily reversal yesterday after another higher low. We might have that low cheat range breakout today, and trading this from the weekly, looking very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tight inside weeks after that peg bar. We held a 10-week moving average as well. So yeah, really like the weekly setup on Snow. Going to be patient with this one. And finally, Warner's, nothing to do. All right, so let's look at the focus list. So first one, CRDO, was building kind of the same setup as TEM. So 21 DME structure breakdown, retest, rejection, higher low, and daily reversal, but it's now gapping up more than 4%. So that setup won't be into play, unfortunately, today, unless we get a big flush at the morning and we retest that reversal pivot. But I don't know. It doesn't look like we might get that today, but we never know. CLS, another setup that will be gone. The reversal pivot was in play yesterday. I still kept that in the focus list because if we had to open in weakness, that reversal pivot retest would have been a nice entry. That's not the focus list right there. Once again, sorry. Let me bring... All right, so Jobby is next one. So another one gapping up, but might still be in play. So we have that 1638. Well, no, not a trend line. 1638, which is the reversal pivot, opening just above. So look for that area. It didn't break out yet. That might be a good performance booster for the portfolio, this one. MP, the name that frustrates everyone. I kind of like it here. 3 tight days as we flag. I would look for the daily reversal and 21 DMA structure reclaim. That's a name that you have to buy on weakness, not on strength on a breakout. It tends to shake out a lot at recent highs. That's just the character and the nature of the stock. So look to get with low risk entries, very low in the structure, low in the base, low in the 21-day MA structure. And if it fails, at least you have a very tight risk. You're taking maybe, I don't know, 0.1 to 0.25% account risk. And if it fails, then no big deal. But if it works, then you have a great entries. And by the time you're getting into that recent swing high structure and get choppy and try to shake you out, then you probably de-risk the trade anyway, and you have a good entry to be patient with it. The best thing to be patient, to keep your panda happy, is to have a good entry. If you don't have a good entry, then it will be much harder to be patient. So Jobby, and the last one, what's the last one? So MP. I think it was, there was another one. Oh yeah, Shop. All right, so Shop looking nice with those higher lows. You had the daily reversal here. There was a news which bought the stock above the 21-day MA structure. You can look at the daily, not daily reversal, but swing high pivot, which we struggled to reclaim in the last two sessions. That would be a nice pivot to play against. So 149.58. If we get a retest of that pivot, so retest of the eye of the daily structure, I think that's a pretty nice spot to play Shop with a low risk entry. Also, Tesla probably went out with their delivery numbers. I see this running. Positive, yeah, okay, that's it. 721,000 cars. Oh, so we have a drop, but the market is likes it. Good stuff. Bad news is good news. All right. So that's about the focus list. I had Oklo as well as a potential add-on position. So that's in focus list as well if we get weakness. The market make no sense, my friend. And yeah, don't try to make sense of the market. The market will do whatever it wants to do. Will do things that don't make sense, but you don't need that to make money in the market. So as being a former engineer, I like to make sense of things, and at first the market and trading was hard for me because I was having that that mind that things needed to make sense and work with a certain formula and be how to say that, I'm searching the right word, but yeah, whatever. But at the end of the day, you just have to flip your mindset as to expect nothing from the market. The market will do as it wants. It's simple supply and demand. So if there's demand for the stock, whatever the news, whatever the fundamentals, whatever for the reason it moves, if there's more demand than there's supply, the market will move up. The stock will move up. Just flip your mindset to being probabilistic. So the market is a statistic game. if you can flip your mindset to a probability mindset, then you don't expect nothing from a certain trade or from the market. So you put a trade, you know right away that you have 60% chance of being stopped out. So if you're in the trade and if it's not acting good, then you don't care to kill that trade and go find the next one, because you know that's part of the edge. So it will make your trader's life much easier. All right, so time for the questions, guys. Once again, the game plan for me today is to continue to trim into strength, reduce my exposure a bit more as we get towards the end of the week. We're not overbought, not extended yet, so I don't want to reduce too much. And if I reduce too much, then I might look at some fresh setups to play, because the market is not overbought. But I want to keep my risk tight, my new open risk very low, my NER that I share in my portfolio update. Control my open ETH as well, the most that I can, but when everything is running, that's normal that your open ETH will grow and will be above 10%. But we'll trail our stop and we'll lock profit in and we'll reduce over time our open ETH. All right, so TMDX. Oh. All right, so let's look at the larger time frame. Yeah, not for me. That's another one that I have to tell myself, what's the character of the stock? If it's chopping around and going nowhere, why would it move suddenly because I take that trade, right? What does it make every time it reclaims the daily structure? It chops around and it means revert. So yeah, I understand we're trying to catch that trade, but at the same time, it looks like it moves a lot on earnings. So earnings, trend, earnings, trend, earnings, trend. So it's the nature of the stock right now for TMDX. If there's no good earnings, there are no catalysts and there's no trend. So yeah, you can. I would actually play this as a peg or EP on day 1 or day 2 as a delayed reaction. But as a normal position, I would expect myself to be chopped up and not going nowhere. Sun. Yeah, we discussed that yesterday, right? Yeah, so same thing for me. That's a mean reversion machine. You rip and you rip and you mean revert. You rip, you mean revert. You rip, you mean revert every time. As we discussed last morning, though, sometimes you rip, you mean revert into rising structure and you get that ramp up. So are we in a market to make that ramp up? I don't know. Maybe that's what we're making here with those higher lows. So it's worth a shot as a smaller position. It's right in the pullback, right in the buy area within 1 ATR from the 21 DMA. You can look at the daily reversal pivot. So we talked about that pivot yesterday morning, but don't expect to. So go in the trade not expecting that. Okay, if you get it, That's perfect. Congrats, and you'll have a nice trend and a nice trade. Sorry, but just know that probabilities are for this kind of action. All right. So if you go in and you expect that, you will manage your trade accordingly. But if you get that, then nice to have and congrats. So Vic is asking, that's a good question. What I would look to re-engage with size, right? So I'm still in my trim into strength process, but what to look for to re-engage. And for me, that's always the same thing. That's a price pullback into rising structure. So not when the market is making a new all-time high. The good thing is the market is still actionable because we're not short-term extended and overbought, and we're just getting started on the McClellan summation. But yeah, if we're getting deeply overbought with the stocks above their 5-day moving average in the 80 or 90% range, then I'm looking to trim more aggressively. And when price starts to pull back into structure, when you start to see stocks above their 5 DMA hitting those oversold ratings, so let's take April's, for example, March, April. So we had those opportunities right here to re-engage in May. But during that trend, you didn't get more opportunity to really go back with big size. When the market starts, it starts, but you will have some stress test in between that might or might not be as deep as oversold. But that's always the same thing that I'm looking. Price into structure and very short-term breadth being oversold. That's what I want to see to re-engage with size. MSAS. Yeah, that's I think Sandy is in this. So yeah, you have a base building here, right? So I'll always look for your structures, guys. It will give you much more perspective on how the stock builds and what might be the proper longer term setup, and on the shorter time frame, how is it respond to those reclaims, those retests. And that's exactly how we see things here. So we have that base building retest of the lower part of the range. 2 days ago there was a news ripped into right into that base area. Supply, we rejected that. Sellers came in at that structure. Retest of the low cheat range structure, so recent swing highs. And now what you want to see is buyers stepping in, and that's exactly what you see. So we're retesting that structure, we're retesting the daily structure as well. We're making a higher low, meaning that the buyer stepped in to defend that structure, to defend that recent low. And yeah, you can play this on the daily reversal. We're a bit extended from the 21 EMA, but nothing crazy. That's still playable. And what you play is that larger breakout right here. Roblox. I have a hard time with this one. it ran so hard for so long without pause. Then we have kind of that climax top, and now what it looks like to me is kind of a rising wedge. Yeah, I hate those rising bases. But yeah, it can go, and often when you break those rising wedges, that's where you changes gear, and you start to get that big momentum push. But yeah, it's kind of lagging a bit recently, and that wouldn't be my top pick, to be honest. Yeah, Ken, thanks to give me some other perspective. So where do you see that weekly cup and handle? Okay, yeah. So right here with that handle. Oh, okay. Ah, okay, really big one. Yeah, that's like the it's looked like the Aladdin magic how do you say that, the magic where you the magic lamp, there you go, thank you. That's a magic lamp setup. So yeah, long term, that's definitely a nice setup. Good high, guys. I'm still not sure of the daily, but that's a nice long-term setup. So maybe just need to shake out. Let's look back at the weekly. And if you get a shakeout, in the low of the structure right here, might be a good spot, and that might be what it needs to set up in a better way. A punch ball of death. Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah, so yeah, that wouldn't be my top focused, like I said. But I reckon that the larger picture with that monthly cup and handle or magic lamp is intriguing. So Pudel, congrats, 300% performance in the last 12 months. Well done, my friend. Keep killing it. Market is good. Our job is to make money. Don't overthink it. Be humble about it. So remember that anytime from here, the music can stop. And we'll have to be defensive. We won't think about making money anymore. And it will be time to be patient. But right now the market is good and our job is to make money. We don't know when it will stop, but eventually it will stop. So make sure to trim into strength, to pay yourself on the way up. Raise your stop loss, so trail your structures to lock profits in. And yeah, remain optimistic as long as the trend remains. So is there any other questions, guys, before we close that session? Pleasure, guys. That's why we're here. right, guys. So once again, I will be in the trading pit today to look at the market with you, share some ideas if there is, and yeah, if there's any questions, don't hesitate to ask around. Once again, we're here to help. So have a good day, everyone. Bye bye. Cheers.